to the show. What's happening in Grand Rapids? Well, we just had the Tina Turner musical. I hope you guys got a chance to go see it. This will be touring nationwide, and she was such an amazing entertainer. God rest her soul. And we will enjoy her music and her talents for many years to come. Also, at the DeVos Hall, we have a drag queen Christmas. This has been running maybe like 9 years, and it is the longest running tour in the United States for a drag show. You'll have all your fan favorites, some of them from All Star, some of the VIPs, and they will have a meet and greet afterwards. So if you are a drag queen, you know, fan, go check it out. DeVos Hall is popping. So go on the website and see what all is happening in Grand Rapids, right downtown. Easy to get to. You have food, drink, everything is right there. Bring your family for the family events and enjoy yourself. It's a great date night, great fun. And I'd like to congratulate Anna's House. This is a place where you can get fresh produce from our local farmers. All right. They open up their second location, Northland Drive, and go out and celebrate with them. Go show your support. They are dedicated to providing fresh, local quality produce, ingredients, and they distribute all through Michigan. So my hat's off to you and congratulations for your second place of business. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email me at JaazMajesty@gmail. I'm featuring people in the community, events, anything entertaining I like to share with my audience. And I spelled it for you. It's JaazMajesty@gmail.com. And we could talk about getting you on the show. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the interview with Tyrone Andrews out of Detroit. See you next time. Bye. Welcome to the Jazz Majesty Show, audience. Today's guest is Mr. Tyrone Andrews. He is a returning guest. He is an insurance broker that sells life insurance and medical insurance, licensed in about 5 states and very knowledgeable. And he is out of the Detroit area. So here we are. Hi, Mr. Andrews. How you doing?
Hi, Miss JaazMajesty. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show again. It's just a real privilege to be on your show. You're a great host, and you ask great questions, and it's very intriguing.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to touch on an insurance policy. That's a very important subject. And Mr. Tyrone, Mr. Andrews, we were talking, and I think you should check out, or he was telling me to check over your life insurance policy at least every 2 years to make sure that you have the correct policy product for your special needs. Today, we are going to talk about a little bit about children insurance, medical policy insurance, and index investment insurance, which a lot of people don't take advantage of. So here we are. So I'm going to let Mr. Tyrone have the floor and tell us a little bit about each.
Yes, and I'll try to keep it in that order. Yes, children's insurance is very important. Sometimes as adults, we think, well, our kids are young and we can wait, but the cost of waiting on any plan is definitely a cost that we can incur. Whereas when kids are so young, we're going to get the most phenomenal rate of our lifetime, and we can lock these rates in and, man, live happily ever after. And then there's benefits to certain plans for children, especially like whole life, that can generate cash values. So at some point in time, especially in their adult years and college years, there could be some cash that's available, especially for school supplies and books and things of that nature that, they may need uniforms. We just never know, right? And so we're not looking Yeah, we're not looking at it as just for death benefit, but what we like to call living benefits. And if our agents or your agent, current agent, haven't talked to you about that, that's definitely a great topic for me to discuss with you.
Okay. What would you say the youngest age you could enroll a child in a life insurance policy?
Yes, generally, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think after about 2 weeks we can enroll a child. But typically, yes, within the
Wow.
year, when I would say once they have their first birthday would be a great start. And typically, the rates are going to be kind of relatively the same up for till they turn like 5 years old, and so we do have time for that. But it's definitely a worthwhile venture.
Okay, that's good to know, people. Um, Also, medical
Mhm.
policies,
Yes.
products for life insurance. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that as well?
Yes, what we like to talk about, especially at Starworth and Andrews, is living benefits of life insurance. Even if it's term-based policies, there's certain companies and carriers that have living benefits. If we have a critical illness or if we have a chronic health condition, that we can access money out of our face value of our policy while we're living, and that particular money does not have to be paid back as a loan. So there are living benefits to policies, be it term and whole life type of plans, and universal. Matter of fact, which we'll talk about a little bit more.
Okay. And there was one that really piqued my interest is the index investment
Yes,
life insurance policy. People, you can make your money work for you.
that's
So,
right.
can you
That's
tell us a little
right.
bit about that? A lot of people don't know about index insurance. I didn't know until I started studying about it under his mentorship.
Okay.
And he's very knowledgeable. And you also sell medical insurance as well, in addition to life
Oh yes,
policies.
yes, absolutely. Speaking from the Medicare medical standpoint, I'm getting ready to actually get appointed with healthcare.gov. And so I'll be able to offer health insurance for adults under 65. I'm also certified to in Medicare, and also have some information about how Medicaid works as well. And we have hospital indemnity plans, which again can pay us cash benefits if we are hospitalized. We have accidental plans that can pay us cash benefits if we have to go to the hospital and receive some type of procedure and get money out, or have an unfortunate disability for a while, because sometimes we're unable to go back to work really soon. and
Yeah.
and that's the area that a lot of times we may have like short-term disability at our jobs, and long-term, a short-term disability. But again, it lasts for a certain particular time. And then if it's job related, then of course, we can have workers' compensation. But if it's non-job related, that can be a whole nother issue. And sometimes just a month or two of a lost income could really put us in a financial challenging position.
Absolutely, because it does take a while for job claims to be completed and questions answered. And if you have that policy as backup, then
Mhm.
you have access to money sooner. And that's really
Again,
important.
yeah, that's really important.
Really,
And like
really
you said,
important.
sooner the better. I'll give you a quick little example. I have a lady that had an accidental plan. She's one of my best clients. And when I say, I mean, all my clients are great, but I mean, she's really involved in insurance coverages. And so we had the opportunity to have like maybe a 30-day elimination period, a 90-day, or 2 weeks, and I put a zero elimination period on her policy. So once we finalized her claim paperwork, we were able to pay her right away, and she was pretty ecstatic about that. And having the time off and to heal, but not be concerned financially, is, I think, is very important.
Yeah, not be stressed because it's already uh, a surprise and a little upsetting to, or a little bit challenging, I
That's
might
right.
add, to get
Yes.
through that. And the bills keep coming. So no matter
Don't
what
they?
the
Right?
paperwork is doing, the bills keep coming, people. So
I
puts you in
know.
a better position to handle these unfortunate or unforeseen situations.
Yes, and also with like you mentioned about the index policies, and also even with whole life, I like to say that generally we're saving money, and that's great. We're going to continue to do that, and we want to continue to invest in different type of opportunities as well. Life insurance and universal life is technically not an investment, but it has great growth potential. But one of the things I think that's so attractive about the universal flexible policy is that once we have a certain amount of cash in that policy, then we can actually even suspend payments. And then once we're ready to pay again, we just start paying again, and we don't have to pay back premium payments. And most people are like, wow, well, I never heard of that, and I want one of them. And so, yeah, that's a lot of flexibility. And then again, since it has 3 levels of payment, we can go down to a lower payment like term. We can have a modal payment or a target payment that can last like whole life. But then we can actually increase our payment. There's a maximum amount that we can pay to really, really accelerate the growth of this policy, because we're getting interest, compound interest on a portion of a premium that we're paying. So contrary to belief that most people say, well, I want the most insurance, but I want the lowest cost. If we start thinking, well, if I invest more, then I have a potential for more gain. So we want to just kind of maybe change the way we look at things, and things we look at can change. So it has a lot of opportunity. And then I like to say it can be mainly an emergency fund type of plan, where because generally we don't want to pay too much, because we're saving, like if I have a car repair or if I need a home repair, things like that. And that's so important. So we can have a certain amount of cash value built into our insurance policy, then we can have an emergency fund right in our policy, and money that not unfortunately, but it was fortunate that we forget about, Jazz, that and then next thing you know, we're like thinking about, well, how do I handle this situation? And then we like, oh, this light bulb goes off. Oh, there, I remember my agent telling me about this, how this cash works in my policy. Let me call my agent. Let me call Tyrone, and I'll just put that out there. But let me call my agent, whoever that may be. And then we have this discussion, and I have a policy. I think I've only had it for about 3 years. Now, typically, it's about 2 to 3 years before we started having loan value. Okay. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I got it's a few hundred in there, maybe more than that. But I'm like, okay, so if I have a situation where I'm in a pinch and I need some cash, generally within a week or so, we can call and do a claim, and most of our carriers over the phone, and send out a check typically within a week to 10 days, and continue to live a happy life.
Yeah, I took advantage of that one time. I just asked a question and I was like, I'm able to
Mhm.
get a few dollars. So, and I needed it. When it made the
Yeah.
phone call, gave my account number, which they get it out of my account every month anyway, and the money was
That's right.
there. So people,
Yes.
there are things that we have access to, which is our own money,
That's right.
and that's buildable. That in emergency situations or whatever, it
Mhm.
you can
That's
use.
right.
So if you have the right insurance broker that's very knowledgeable, like Mr. Tyrone Andrews, he can tell you about those
Thank
things. I also
Yes, and then yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Mhm. Oh no, I was gonna say, and with that, when we become the first beneficiary of our own policies, typically we think, and we have to unfortunately pass away, and we're gonna leave money to our loved ones, our family members, etc. But if we become the first beneficiary, like you just mentioned, that have access to this policy and see that it works for us, and get some money, our back money that we paid into it, it's just a really good scenario. And then there's other non-forfeiture options too, that if we in a little pinch, call your agent, call the company, see what kind of plan you have, and you may have options again where they can take some, if you have a cash value type policy, they can take the policy and put it on maybe an extended term time frame where we don't make any more premium payments, but we can still have insurance, or we can get a reduced paid up amount of insurance, and without paying any more premium. And that's something that a lot of times it's not discussed, unfortunately. or
Yes, and
maybe
a lot of
fortunate,
people,
depends on you.
yeah, they don't know about it. So that's very enlightening. And audience, insurance is important.
Yes,
You don't want to leave the stress of your situation on your
hmm,
loved ones. They're going to be sad and going through a lot because you are no longer with them. So
that's right.
just, try to ease the burden and prepare yourself because it's inevitable that
Yes,
that day will come. We don't know
that's right.
when, but just to
No,
be prepared and to put your family in a situation where they won't, like I said, take on the burden of unnecessary drama, headache,
yes,
and monetary situations. Okay,
I
and
agree.
insurance is for everyone,
Yes,
and it's necessary. Even
that,
if your job offers insurance, I'm an independent contractor
mhm,
and
yes,
I work for various companies for very specific amount of time. So I may have insurance while I'm with them, but when you leave the company, your insurance is no longer, not life insurance. So it's best to always have a backup policy. Even if your job offers it, you have something in place so that
that is so true because yeah, because we could change jobs, and sometimes we don't even maybe plan on staying with a certain company for our life tenure. So I agree with you. When you work with a individual company, your policy is definitely portable. So it's there no matter what, and it's an actual contract. It's not a certificate of coverage that and banks and credit unions are awesome, but typically a lot of times in some cases it's a certificate of coverage versus an actual policy. So if it's a contract, then that contract can never be broken. It can only be broken by the consumer, the insured, or if we just decide we don't want it anymore, whatever the case may be, but it's actual contract.
right. And there are medical policies for people that have ongoing medical conditions, or what do they call it? Pre
Yes. Pre-existing conditions, or like
That's
you
the
said,
word.
ongoing
Sorry, I had like
conditions.
a total loss of words. Pre-existing conditions, audience.
Yes,
Wow. And those things may not change, but just to know that you are able to get some type of insurance,
yes,
that's when you would discuss it with your insurance broker, and he'll be able to
yes.
come up with a product that will suit you and your financial needs and not put such a big burden on you to pay. And
That's right.
you can always
Yes,
just get it out of your account. You're not going to miss it if you don't see it. It's just
that's
part
right.
of your paycheck.
Yeah,
Direct deposit, get your insurance taken out. You don't even see it. You don't have to worry about it. But it is very important. And,
yes,
these are things that people don't think about, but it's just part of life.
yes.
And also to have your insurance policy reviewed every couple years
I agree
because
with you, Jazz.
you may be
Yeah,
paying for things that you don't need. Your life changes, situations change.
yes.
You may be an empty nester.
You you could definitely be an agent because you're on the right track. You know exactly what you're saying, and that's a very important. Sometimes just with a review, you'd be amazed that sometimes we as agents can discover like riders that are no longer in place that a policyholder could be paying for. Or riders that was eliminated that we still may think that's still in force. I mean, it's just a slew of scenarios that can occur. And I always say it's just like going to the doctor or going to get our car checked every now and then to just make sure everything is running right. We're not going to, try to steer you in a certain way just because that, we're in the business of, taking care of insurance policies, but more or less we're in the business of satisfying our clients and listening to their needs and addressing their needs and trying to find ways that we can make you continue to feel good about what you have and what you're doing.
Exactly. Also, besides being an insurance broker and licensed in different states, I'd like to talk about your music and what you're doing with the city of Detroit. Detroit is
Okay.
a fascinating city. People, you must come. Um, I love Detroit. I'm on
That
the
is
west side. Of course I
yes.
love Grand Rapids, but I want to inform everybody about the beautiful state of Michigan, West and East Michigan. All right.
That's right.
So tell us
Yes.
what you've been up to on your other business, Mr. Tyrone.
Okay. Well, briefly, I am a lyricist, a songwriter, and I teamed up with Iconic Records and Mr. Iconic. That's his AKA name. He's actually Mr. Johnson, and actually, he is actually a policy holder of mine. I met him through his mom and his dad, and I did a lot of work with his mom and dad. And initially, his mom was, she wasn't easy to just, consult with. But once we did that, oh my God, I ended up doing a lot of work with their family. And unfortunately, he just recently lost his mom. So we ended up settling the
Oh,
claim. Yeah, and then I helped them with other carriers that they had, and just went through all the processing because, in my opinion, it's not about the sale; it's about the service. And if we continue to service clients, and I know there's a lot of great agents, and congratulations on the ones that do, then the opportunities will come. But if you call and we can take care of you when there's no transaction in place, then you know that the company definitely cares. All companies do, and then we do as agents as well. So, but yeah, musically, we have a theme for Detroit. We created with the Iconic team, and I think I sent you a little clip of it. If you don't mind playing, it's maybe 30 seconds, and it just
yeah.
highlights Detroit and and where we're at with that.
Okay, and audience, you will see that in the show and check it out. I
Okay.
remember you also speaking about the riverfront.
Yes. Matter of fact, just today I just spoke with my producer, and but the riverfront is just awesome. I mean, it's won the award for the best riverfront in the U.S. 3 years in a row. How significant? How
Wow.
great is that, right? And I'm right downtown. Right, I can walk there. That's how close I am. I'm right down to near what is it, Huntington Place? Used to be Cobo Center. My office is in the Venture X building, so it's awesome. So yeah, we have a theme that we're working on for them, and we're going to present it to them. And actually, we're going to present it possibly even at no charge because we have other entities that we want to promote throughout the city, big businesses that's doing a lot of big developments that could hopefully use our advertising. So, but yeah, that's the project that we're currently working on right now.
That's awesome. I might have to get a condo downtown Detroit by the
I know.
riverfront
Oh,
because it's amazing. I went to a
it,
concert. I saw Brownstone and El
mhm.
DeBarge, and it was so cool. They had other groups. I couldn't remember all of them, but it
Yeah,
was spread out enough, and I was pleased. It was safe.
yeah.
They had
Oh
food,
yeah.
and it was just a beautiful time. And
Yes,
lots of room. People, you can move around. It's not
that's right.
tense, and parking
Yeah.
was good. And
Yes.
all of these things come and play when I'm going somewhere. So I
Yes.
definitely will be back.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean, a lot of times I stay, so my hours I'm usually here from let's say 10 to 8 right now because I'm a new office and new development, so I'm really put the time in. But when I leave, I see patrons just walking around, people just having a good time, going to dinner and just eating ice, all of this good stuff, and with kids and strollers, it's just exciting to be here. And yeah, it's the place to be. Detroit is still very, very, very active.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Mr. Tyrone Andrews, for coming back on the show. And
My
we will
pleasure.
have all his contact information at the end of the show. So please check him out. Give him a call. You can go over what you have. Even if you have an insurance agent already, okay? Because they work for you. And if
That's right.
they are not telling you about products and services that could be to your benefit, you can still get another policy. You don't have to drop them, but you
That's
can
right.
still add to your portfolio of what you have. All right.
That's right. Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
And we'll see you soon. And
Thank you,
congratulations
Jazz
on your
Majesty.
new endeavor with City. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And you, to your show as well. Thank you.
Thank you.